welcome to the Personalities of the Tarot podcast. I'm your host, Elizabeth Seer, and this is Season 2, Episode 21 for March 1st, 2024. On the last episode, I spoke of the moon, which covers the entire sign of Pisces, the last sign of the astrological wheel. And I drilled down with the first decan of Pisces and the Eight of Cups, which is emotional burnout. Anybody else feel that? Just knowing when it's time to walk away from certain situations, feelings, or behaviors because they've just become too burdensome to bear? Go back to the last episode to learn more about that. I know I felt it. I've been sick for the past week, which is why my voice may sound different on this episode. Now, we're in mid-Pisces and the time of the Nine of Cups. March 1st through the 9th, 10th or so, 10th-ish is what I say. And it's a time to experience some just incredible energy. So let's talk mid-Pisces and, of course, corresponding famous, infamous birthdays. It's time to sit back and chill in your favorite space, driving your car, or going for a walk while we get into the energy that we're all working with now. We had a full moon last weekend on February 24th, the snow moon. I was definitely feeling that full moon energy. Again, experiencing severe insomnia, which I always get with a full moon for a few days around that full moon. A friend of mine shared a meme of Michael Scott from The Office. His face is superimposed with the moon over it, and he's saying, "I am aware of the effect I have on women," and it's so true. Also, I really most humbly submit that the readings I had last weekend were just stunning. They blew my mind. They were so moving. I had brand new clients. One of them was probably the oldest person I've ever read for, and her reading was 100% mediumship, beginning several minutes before her reading. Her husband, who passed a few months ago, stepped in as I was getting ready, and he kept impressing me with the ring, the ring, the ring. Make sure she knows I know about the ring. And he showed me a wedding ring on a chain. Sure enough, I told her what I saw, and she said, "He put that ring on his finger over 68 years ago when we got married. And when he was in the hospital just before he died, they made him remove it, and he was just beside himself. He didn't want them to take it off because he hadn't removed that ring in over 68 years. Can you imagine that? Having a piece of jewelry, having a ring on your finger to remind you of your unending love for over 68 years. She went on to say, that she's been wearing it around her neck on a chain since the day he had to remove it from his finger. And then, of course, the hits just kept on coming throughout the rest of her reading. The reading after that was more of a spiritual reading, no mediumship. Nobody from the other side was coming through or needed to come through. And again, it was a brand new client, and the hits kept coming for her as well. From the moment I gave her my pre-reading notes, and if you're new here, when I read for somebody, I begin connecting for them about 30 minutes before their 1-hour reading, and I just write down copious notes about why they're getting their reading and other things that Spirit deems they need to hear. And then I take up about the first 10 to 15 minutes of the reading time, just letting them know what I've gotten. So with her, when I finished with my pre-reading notes, I said, "Do you have any questions?" And she answered, "No, you covered everything I wanted to ask about." And then, of course, we just dug deeper. She began asking me things like, "What do you pick up with this name or that name?" And I would tell her, "Oh, ego, this one definitely wants to be in charge. He needs to always be correct, and he wants you to follow the rules. He doesn't like you stepped away on your own." And she gasped and confirmed this. She tossed out another name, and all I could see with that name were music notes and love and like hearts. And so I told her, this person lives with and for music. Music is their life. And if they're not already doing so, they really need to be playing, singing, or dancing even more. And again, she gasped and she said, "Yes, They play guitar and piano, they have a band, and they just got a part-time job at Guitar Center. I kind of giggled at that because it's just amazing how spirit works in this way. And it's really the first time I've done a reading like that with giving responses to names, just telling somebody what I see when they throw out names. But it was seriously fun and apparently spot on. So just before the reading finished, she asked me if she could throw out one more name. And I immediately saw hands in prayer pose and a bouquet of flowers. And I said, this person is the answer to your prayers and likely surprises you in special and loving ways. I explained to her how I saw the prayer hands and the bouquet of flowers. And again, she gasped and she said, yes, every time I see him, he brings me flowers. So, was it that full snow moon that helped push that incredible energy? I don't know. But I was energetically buzzing when that day was done. And of course, I couldn't sleep the next 2 nights because of that full moon. Just a reminder, I'm a highly rated tarot and psychic reader. I have 5 stars on Google, Fiverr, Groupon, Fresha, and I think even Yelp. If you're interested in getting a reading, but maybe you didn't know how to go about finding a psychic for you, check out my site at elizabethseer.com. I have posts about my work and personal experiences, and even something about psychic scammers who give us all a bad name. I have video meditations and links to a few products I created to help out if you're also spiritually curious, like me. You can only book a reading with me through my team at chickswithspiritualgifts.com or my personal site, elizabethseer.com. So now we're in the time of the 9 of Cups, March 1st through the 9th or 10ish, right in there. Wishes can come true with the 9 of Cups. If you know someone born during this period, they're likely exceptionally caring, sensitive, and emotionally gentle with others, sometimes being just quite selfless. They could be materially blessed in this life, which can make being selfless that much easier for them. Now, shadowy, I guess, they can also be secretive and competitive as they work to achieve their dreams and desires. They should ensure they don't become overly selfless to the point of draining their own life force. Spiritual practices, including things like prayer and meditation, can be exceptionally helpful for their well-being. For those of all signs now, during this period of mid-Pisces, it could bring some peace and satisfaction back into certain areas of your life. You may feel anxieties and fears disappearing or moving to the back of the line of emotions where they belong. You may get to experience an emotional or spiritual expansion of sorts. It's a wonderful time to visualize, imagine, and inspire your dreams so they may become your reality. You may have a new sense of flow and movement with certain blockages removed in the heart and soul. Allow yourself to experience the beauty and peace to be found in the world. Are you spiritually curious? I've created some divination tools which might help you on your spiritual divination journey, including my Seer's Casting Tarot released earlier this year. I'm truly enjoying working with the 78 symbols on discs, and I can't say enough about just how thrilled I am with the casting board. It's a new way to enjoy an old divination tool. Links for my divination sets and more are at my website, elizabethseer.com. It's famous birthday time. Here's my random list of famous or infamous mid-Pisces characters and celebrities born March 1st through the 9th. Those on the list were born with the energy of the moon and the Nine of Cups, along with the King of Cups. He was featured back on episode 19. These are watery, dreamy people who have a love of love, and they can find inspiration in the everyday. As always, this list does not mean I agree or disagree with a person's words or life choices. It's simply to educate on the mid-Pisces personality, giving you the opportunity to compare public personas with their tarot and astrological correlations, for bad or good. Ron Howard. He was born March 1st, and his daughter Bryce Dallas Howard was born March 2nd, a day after. Jane Goodall. John Frusciante. Michelangelo. Jeff Ament. Joseph Pulitzer. Javier Bardem. Lupita Nyong'o. Kesha. Justin Bieber. John Bon Jovi. Daniel Craig and his wife, Rachel Weisz. Rebel Wilson. Theodore Geisel, also known as Dr. Seuss. Mikhail Gorbachev. Oh, gosh, how we miss someone like him right now. Jessica Biel. Camila Cabello, or Cabello. Herschel Walker. Jean Harlow. Catherine O'Hara. Evan Dando. Magician Penn Jillette. The beautiful Eva Mendes. Momofuku Ando, the inventor of instant ramen noodles. David Gilmour of Pink Floyd, and just so you know, he's considered one of guitar's all-time greats. Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Shaquille O'Neal. I just have to throw this out there that as a Suns fan, I absolutely loved when he played with our team. Bryan Cranston. Wanda Sykes. Peter Sarsgaard. Jenna Fisher, and you may know her as Pam from the US version of The Office. Laura Prepon. Freddie Prinze Jr. News anchor Lester Holt. Oscar Isaac. Chess master Bobby Fischer. And funny man Jordan Klepper. Here's my regular reminder for you. You lose nothing by being kind and respectful. Be what you wish to see in this world. We all should want to encounter more kindness, compassion, and respect. You want more respect? Be respectful to everyone, the earth and all of her inhabitants. You want more compassion? Draw it to you by being more compassionate with others as well as yourself. Love and respect should still matter in this world. So again, be what you wish to see and allow it to be returned to you in kind. Now, I'll be back on March 10th to talk about late Pisces with the 10 of Cups, which covers the middle 10 degrees or 10-ish days or so of the sign, along with the movement from the King of Cups to the reign of the Queen of Wands, who rules March 10th through April 10th. She's an incredible manifester, so prepare yourself for that energy. Remember, during this time of the Nine of Cups, allow peace to prevail and imagine and inspire dreams, especially your own. You've been listening to Elizabeth Seer, and I'm grateful for this time with you.